Here's my audience. Alright. Imagine a world with no money. Imagine everyone being able to afford the basic necessities to live a healthy life. Now think about the truth that every single person depends on money. Money is one thing the world revolves around, but in reality, money won't be worth much after inflation rates. Money may be important to everyone and for everything, but it shouldn't determine someone's ability to provide basic necessities for themselves and others. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, in 2016, 7.6 million Americans were below poverty level, even though they had been working for at least 27 weeks or almost half a year. This number made the working poor rate 4.9% of the population in that year alone. This census also determined that families with at least one member working for 27 weeks or more, with children under the age of 18, were 5 times more likely to live in poverty than families without children under the age of 18 or with no children at all. Although 2016 had the second lowest poverty rate for working families, 2010 had the highest poverty rate since 1986, with an astonishing rate of 7.2% in working families. Another mind-blowing fact about the pay received while working is the salary of Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon, versus his workers. While Bezos makes $2,950 per second, his employees makes $2,796 a year. Therefore, Bezos receives over 33,272,961 times as much money as his hard workers in 1 year. This means that if Bezos evenly divided his annual salary with all of his employees, each person would receive $300,000. In addition to the unfair pay, workers for Amazon are forced to wear monitoring devices that measure the distance they walked and are required to do at least 14 miles a day. This goes to show that even after working your hardest, the pay you receive may be unevenly dispersed and may not be enough to provide yourself and others with basic necessities. These necessities include food, water, and shelter. According to the Center for Poverty Research in California, 39.7 million Americans lived in poverty in 2017. Of these people, 18.5 million of them reported deep poverty, meaning their household income was 50% below that year's poverty threshold. Although 1959 had the highest poverty rate of around 22.5%, the rates fluctuate frequently, and poverty can never be predetermined. In accordance with poverty levels, homelessness also fluctuates. On one night in 2018, 552,830 people experienced homelessness. This number shows that out of every 10,000 people, 17 of them in the United States were homeless on the same given night. Of the homeless people in this year, 67% were individuals without family. This shows that even when people don't have to provide for others, they can't receive basic necessities to live on their own. Since 2007, 12 states in the country have experienced significant growth of homelessness. These growth rates range from 1% growth in Iowa to 100% growth in South Dakota. The 10 states with the highest homelessness rates have these rates due to having to spend a higher percentage of their income on the rent or mortgage payments. Although our livelihoods depend on money, money is really going to be worth nothing in the long run due to outstanding rates of inflation. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the Consumer Price Index for all items in September 2018 versus September 2019 alone has risen 1.7%. For all items excluding food and energy, between the same period the CPI caused the CPI to rise 2.4%. Food itself rose 1.8% between the same period of time. Inflation is important for economic growth, but it will inevitably lead to the loss of value of money. Money can and should be used for economic growth. However, the reality is that money is unevenly dispersed. People are dependent on money to live. Money creates boundaries between groups of people, such as the rich and poor, and money will be worth nothing sooner than later due to the constantly growing inflation rates. Thank you.